And we're back for another one. Mic check 1 2. Ready for the truth. Much Love Academy. MC, Pixie, Hope, Callie, Last Stand. Good to see everybody. Deanne, Steve, Phoenix Rise, and Canito in the house. Barb, Bella, thank you, Wayne, John Boy, Smokey, Beach Girls, Bones Jones. Everybody, my knights. Good to see everybody. Flip, thank you for the feedback, everybody. I hope all is well. As always, I want to thank everyone that shares the stream. See Brian, Soft, E Fitz, Chocolate, Tom, Bella, Steely. Much love, everybody. All right. Got a lot to cover as always here. If you're new to the channel, not only make sure to hit that subscribe button, but hit the notification as well. If you got anything you want to get to me during the stream, the email is dabu7@yahoo.com. You can at me in the chat as well. Thank you, Steely, for the super chat. Appreciate it to the fullest. Again, you can at me there in the chat. It lights it up in red. We'll get a refresh one time on my screen before we get going here. Here we go. Oh, wow. That's a big difference. Show me there's 400 people watching. I refresh it, says 700. Everybody, yes, much love. Thank you, Edward, for the coffee right out the gate. One of the best ways to support the channel. That PayPal, super chats, or if you become a member of the channel. We've got Stealth Mode, member for 7 months. Member of the Underground, much love. I appreciate all that support. And we're going to get this thing popping here with a couple breaking stories and updates here real quick. We'll kind of kick it off as I normally do. I see you, Laguna Beach. We've got the son of the LA Crips leader, Big U. Big U's popular out there. In a lot of these interview type shows like Art of the Dialogue and anything connected to like Tupac, Biggie. Those things do tons of views. And Big U is in some of those videos. If you look him up, well, his son apparently on Halloween night got shot and killed. Thank you, Visions. And it's just a part of the gang life. He's a Crip. He went walking up to a car, and the people that were inside shot him. And happened about 11 p.m. right outside of his own smoke shop, his business near 69th Street. It just doesn't stop. Same area. And Big U was friends with Nipsey Hussle. If any of you guys knew who Nipsey Hussle was, another rapper from the area, Crip, they got shot and killed. Broad daylight right in front of a store, which was, it's always some garbage, man. Yeah, we have that. And then we got investigators mystified after they say that they have discovered and recovered over 300 piles of human remains that have been dumped in the Nevada desert. Yeah, it's this is in the small town of Searchlight, about an hour south of Vegas. They say that they were initially discovered over the summer. A man exploring the area came across them. He found hundreds of small piles. And then he called in the police. They came in. Officials later confirmed the material was human remains, cremains. So they're looking at the local crematoriums, because all the places, all the crematoriums, they have a duty to get rid of the ash in a right and just honorable way, per the law, not just go dump them like you're seeing here out in the middle of the desert. But that's what they've done. There's going to be an argument on either side. I'm sure the people that are busted are going to say, look, we were told in contract we just had to dump them, scatter them, like there wasn't no specific means. Maybe for some there are, but for anyone that where it's not clear and you ain't got any family there, this is what's going to happen. I tweeted at a guy on X, or I posted about this guy named John who put out a video here earlier this year, and he's the only one left of his family. It was really sad, kind of heartbreaking that he's like, when he dies, he'll doubt anyone will notice, and he was making the video just to let people know that he existed. Ah, man, hits the heart, man. Well, if someone like him were to die, like you said, no family, no immediate family, no one to deal with anything. What's it going to be like? One of these people get cremated and just dumped in the desert? It's happened hundreds of times. It's crazy. I don't know. If you've had anyone cremated in the area of Las Vegas or Searchlight, I would definitely look into this, because it looks like they just went out and that's what they were doing, just dumping the cremains out in the desert. And I guess it'd have been a little bit different if the wind would have scattered everything or something, but it's not the way that it happened. The fact that they kept going back to the same dumping ground also isn't good. And it could be anything. Human trafficking, I mean, it could be anything. We don't know. You could be dealing with a serial killer that's just snatching people up and, like, maybe homeless people that they won't recognize are even gone, and just incinerating them, like on some crazy sick stuff. Could happen, man. Either way it goes, this is disrespect for the person, I think, because I don't think anyone was just going to get dumped in the field like that. That's not the thought anyway. Again, I think everyone thinks when they get cremated, they tell everyone, scatter my ashes far and wide, smoke them, whatever. I don't advise that, but on to this next one. A missing 13-year-old girl found hidden in a box in a basement in Pittsburgh. The suspects arrested for kidnapping, trafficking, sexual assault. She just barely gets out of there. They got these two goons right here. You just never know who it's going to be. That's snatching kids up, throwing them in basements. And that's a part of this trafficking, man. You got to really watch cats. Hoodie Ross, pray strong. You got that right. Stay strong. Much love, my brother. Yeah, so that girl at least was found. Think of all the ones that are not. I guarantee you right now, sad to say, I guarantee you right now, somewhere out there is a kid that's kidnapped. Right now. Someone kidnapped. It pisses me off. Wish you had time and the resources to roll around with crews looking for cats like this, just to mop them up. Because that's how it should be. We got to start doing something to take care of this place and protect it, or it's gone. We're overran with all these migrants right now, when they're rapists and murderers, large part of them, drug dealers, traffickers. When they're traffickers, man, and they're kidnapping people, man, these are not righteous individuals. Steve, thank you so much for that super chat. And someone for the coffee. I appreciate it. Right back at you. Now, this goes with a video I dropped. Some of these stories relate to videos that I dropped throughout the week or recently. I did drop one where I talked about how kind of this exact same scenario. We've got this popular UFO reporting app saying that they have got this report after report after report coming in. Tens of thousands of reports coming in at this point off our coastlines, and a majority of them coming off the East Coast. There's something going on. Remember a couple streams ago, I showed you down near Puerto Rico underwater. The guys were like right there in a boat, and like there was this light underwater, and they're all freaking out about it. And then I showed you a secondary clip, another clip that was guys up in Florida, right off the coast, and you can hear them speaking in English in that one. And they were like, "Go over," and the guys like, "Heck no, we're not going over that." And there was different ones, different colors under the water. The creeping, let's say creeping. And I mean, they were right next to the boat in these instances. And there's something going on. We know that UAPs, underwater drones, UFOs, all these things are out there, but what's going on now with these things floating under the water at different colors? I mean, that's what thousands of people are saying. Underwater objects up and down the coastline. What is this? Like, what is going on? Like, well, it could be. It really could be the beginning of something here. Now, I'm going to tell you that we're not alone. I always say this. The life is here. Other life is here. And thank you, Lindsay, for the coffee. Appreciate it. Much love. I think that the ocean being a majority of the planet, it definitely has life. Why would it not? For a planet that could harbor life to not have anything in the ocean, it would be kind of stupid. Be kind of offset, honestly, with all the abundance of life that's here. And I really do feel that there is a reptilian race to some degree. We have a reptilian part of our mind. And they would make for the exact kind of species that's causing all these problems that we're dealing with. They could blend in, just as it says in your Bible, the wheat and the tare. They're amongst us. I believe a lot of these life forms are here. Tells you. But also in the ocean. But at some point, these guys have been staying out of sight, out of mind. If there's a push to say, hey, guess what? The time's come. We're coming out the shadows. But I mean, how are they going to play this card? It's always been speculated with blue beam in the sky. Well, this isn't blue beam in the ocean. Nice try. Everything's always blue beam, blue beam, blue beam, blue beam. No. It's not. Where's the projector? You know, I say this all the time. Like, yeah, to a degree, blue beam is definitely real. It can be used. But like, this isn't blue beam under the water, man. Like, these are real deal objects. And it's something different. And there's more and more of it happening. And I'm telling you right here, the headlines, again, this is Fox. Tens of thousands of sightings. So you're not alone if you're seeing stuff like this. This goes back to the whole drone thing and these things diving into the water. We know that it's our government. They had FAA lights on them. I've been seeing some stuff out here in the skies, man. Just wait. They get the right footage to share. I'm going to share it with you guys. You're going to see some of what I'm witnessing out here. So just a heads up, if you're seeing anything out there, let me know. Now, this brings me to one of the bigger headlines I've got here. This is the International Academy of Astronautics, IAA, has crafted this fresh revision of the SETI protocol, which is tailored for the eventuality of encountering extraterrestrial intelligence. Now, a preprint of this document is on RXIV, their site, with formal ratification slated for the dawn of the coming year. So, the very beginning of the year, there's going to be an official full piece put out on this. And amongst the most pivotal revisions is a clause addressing whether humankind ought to reply to any kind of signal that we get. This is strange and the timing's odd with 3i Atlas right there. The prior edition of this protocol leaned toward the endorsement of a response, of mankind responding. Now they're flipping the script and they're basically warning everybody out there, you are not to respond to any signal that comes to this planet until they process every bit of all this and they make the decision. So hold on a second. What if this is God? You never want to say that. What if this is the creator? You can't say who the creator is. All these scientists, they can't point a finger at anything. We're saying it's God. What if it is God? They never mention that possibility. What if it is the return of the one that created all of us? They keep wanting you to fear what's incoming, and now all of a sudden, they don't want you to communicate with it. If the Most High was coming in, what would they do? Exactly this. They would turn the whole world against it and say that the Most High is a threat. They surely would. Everything is shaping up in this direction. With this ominous 3i Atlas coming out from behind the sun. I'm not sure what's about to happen here, but this is the new word. Remember a couple weeks ago, the group that tracks asteroids and near Earth asteroids and is in charge of the protocol for like when an Earth-ending event's going to happen, they all of a sudden decided to hold this emergency meeting, and now they're tracking 3i Atlas while no one says anything, while the government's still shut down, and while they give us no images. Okay? Now, in the midst of all this, not only did that happen, now this. Now they're revising this protocol all of a sudden, while still not giving us any data, any images. All we can depend on are people like Tiago, Top Sodium Power out there, and others that got backyard telescopes and can lock onto this thing. Oh, I'm telling you, in the coming weeks, it's about to get real because this thing's coming out from behind the sun. Tiago's been able to capture it because he's got a lens that he puts on his, that he can see the sun. He can observe it. You have to be very careful when doing stuff like this. You'll fry your eyes and stuff if you're not doing it right. But it's moving into a more favorable position. This thing is also coming up on a rendezvous with Venus. Okay? And in the sky it just happened. We're past it now. We're actually past it. If you look in the sky, if you find Venus in the sky, if you can find Venus in the sky and lock eyes on it at any point with the moon, this bright moon drowning it out, that right to the right of it, literally like right to the right of it, is where this thing is sitting atlas. And it doesn't have this big, huge, beautiful tail that gives away most comets. It's this little fuzzy thing that's sitting there. And it's weird. I'll say this. 3i Atlas also just changed course, and they can't explain it. We warned you about this. Man, this just does not happen with normal stuff. Not all these anomalies. We've got over a dozen anomalies we've tracked now. I've got like 10 shared on my X, on the X page. So this time it has changed trajectory. And the problem with it is, per the latest data that was dropped today, is that it hasn't changed any size. It don't have any more extra jets coming off of it at all. The only way that it could have naturally kicked off to the side or moved anything is if it was falling apart, basically, and it was ejecting a ton of material, losing a ton of weight. That apparently did not happen. I don't know what this thing is or what's going on, but it's not a comet like we've ever known. I'm going to tell you that. This thing's special in that regard, so we're going to keep an eye on it. It's something different. Again, I've observed dozens of comets that have come in, dove into the sun, break apart by the sun, all this stuff, and always have the characteristics of a comet. The only thing I ever seen up until this point that did not look like a comet was freaking Oumuamua, the first interstellar that came through. And I mean, it was long, cylindrical in nature, metallic, and it lifted off, and it lifted off up out of here when it passed us. These are facts, Jack. Something is up. The name of Oumuamua is Scout. You send a scout ahead of the larger crew. And that is exactly what we have just now witnessed. So this thing is still in our solar neighborhood, and the odds of all of it are astronomical. The fact that it came through, it's flying through on our flat perfectly on our flat plane coming in. Comets don't do that. They come in from all different angles and not on the perfect, riding the plane perfectly like a spacecraft would. There's a 0.02% chance or some shit. It's crazy. I've gone over all these details time and time again. And the fact that it's coming from the spot in the sky that the wow signal came from, come on now, man. Like, there's something happening here. And you're going to hear all types of different theories out there. And some sound pretty wild, but, it's worth lending an ear to some of these physicists and astrophysicists out here. They got channels. I follow a few of them, and astronomers, because they got information and knowledge they can educate you with. And you're going to hear from them that when it comes to 3i Atlas, like, everyone was afraid to, and still is to some degree, to say anything about, like, an alien probe. They want to say it's conspiracy theory connected to Avi Loeb. But every single one of them, after all these anomalies have stacked up, they're like, look, this thing is in a league of its own. This thing is special. And one thing that does stand out to me is that this thing it's shedding tons of cyanide. And cyanide is a key building block for life. When it hits organic material, it starts to create amino acids, and that's what creates life, man. And it did this right as it buzzed Mars. It came closer to Mars than any object I've ever seen this size, this degree, come to a planet. It's the closest we ever seen. And it came out of nowhere. There was like, if that was been Earth, it was like we had no warning. It would have skimmed us. And you would have looked up if you were on Mars, you would have seen the most spectacular thing, which we're still waiting to get a clear image of, but they're hiding it. And this isn't a joke. This is all real. So all of this has happened all since the government shut down. How is that? I thought none of this stuff could go down. Yet these guys are scrambling behind the scenes, and stuff like this is coming out. I'm telling you, they have now officially let the cat out of the bag that the whole protocol it's going to be changed, and that people are going to be told basically, you're not allowed, just like you're not allowed to like go up to space. If you try to get into space without telling the FAA or whatever, they fine you. Any and all that. They don't want you doing it, and that's garbage. It's garbage. That's like saying you're locked here in a prison. If you have the tech and the will and the ability to be able to get into subspace, you should be able to go. That's why I said if I had the money for a weather balloon, this has been a long time dream of mine, I'd load it with cameras, including some live if I could, and we'd launch it. And we're going to get up there, and then we put a lot of things to rest. I'm sure we'll see a lot of crazy things. It's the only way to do it. We can't depend on no one else. We just do it ourselves. It's the only way to get anything done, it seems. Anyhow, if you get that signal and I don't know, you're sitting on your porch one night and something's flashing lights from deep space at you, and like you flash a light back, and like you did it, you made contact with life, they're gonna be pissed at you. I don't think so. Do you see this? Do you see that image? Do you see the Milky Way right there? Do you see all of these freaking stars? This is what it looks like when I step outside. Especially when the moon's not out. You can see it all. I can see things moving way out there. I can see things moving way so far out there, you can barely see the fuzzy light on them. It's not no plane. It's way, I see planes all day long. This thing is like in subspace, and there's many of them, and they're all over the place, and I can only see them because I'm out here. With no city light drowning it out. Get to the city, you can still see stars, but you can't see these things. These things are wild. I'm telling you, man, as soon as I get this telescope put together, Steve sent me, and I got a fresh night in a minute to hop out here, clear skies. I'm going to start locking onto something. So, yeah, man, eyes to the skies. I say it all the time. You guys get any images, anything crazy, let me know. I'd love to share it. All right, let's jump into the economic stuff here. We've got the longest government shutdown in history. It gets a bit odd. You've got the craziest, wildest object that's ever come into our solar system, and the government shuts down as soon as it gets on Mars's doorstep, and it's still shut down. And this thing's still in the sky. Like there's something here, man. There's something with this. And they're just trying to ignore it for the moment until I guess the time's right. Until they're going to play the card that, oh, here we go. Even if it just keeps on pushing by and like and follows a, follows a path on out of here and leaves and like, we don't get invaded. But that's still small-minded, man. Like, just because we didn't get invaded, it could have been intelligent. Like, we need to see it. We need to see more. We need to know. Everything points to it being intelligent. If it just came through observing, it literally came through. We could observe Mars, Venus, and Jupiter right there in their close orbits, and avoid us. Just interesting. Like the timing's crazy. If you were to look into an inner solar system and you were to already know that a civilization of life like is on the blue planet, and that the red one had it, but it was wiped out. You already know a lot of the history of it. You're just kind of like checking things out, rolling through. Kind of the way you would do it right there, man. And not to mention if you were like seeding life, like on Mars again or something, all that cyanide getting dumped, trying to rebuild an atmosphere or something like that. I don't know. This thing is crazy. Anyhow, keep on pushing here. U.S. families are strained by debt big time all across the country. And I want to point out the top places right here, the top states that are dealing with this. Idaho overtakes Hawaii at the top, followed by Arizona and Colorado, then Utah, then Maryland, South Carolina, Nevada, Oregon, and then Florida. It's top 10. So this is the states people are having the hardest times with debt. Now, this is crazy. This is one you might want to pay attention to. You ever wonder exactly like who and how many people are on the planet? Are they a bunch of old people? Majority is a bunch of young people. Well, I think some people are about to be shocked. What generation are you? Some people are going to be shocked by this because some people think that they're Generation Z or X or a generation they're not. Believe me, right? So this is what it is. It's get it right here. Maybe you're one of them that didn't know, had it wrong, or maybe you do know. So this is what it is. You can just go with the age over here on the right instead of going by the years, but like anyone 61 to 79 is a baby boomer. Anyone 45 to 60 is Generation X, which is what I am. Anyone 81 to 96 is a millennial. I told my wife that, and she looked at me like, I'm not a millennial. I'm like, yeah, you are. So she see, I think, a Generation Y. Then you have Generation Z, which is 97 to 2012, and that's from ages 13 to 28. And then you have 0 to 12 from 2013 to current. That's Generation Alpha. Okay. Now, there are more people in Generation Alpha, in Generation Z, than anything. There's almost twice as many Generation Alpha, 0 to 12s, as there are baby boomers out there. There's not a lot of Generation X behind it. I mean, in terms of these numbers, when you're looking at the generations, man, Alpha's running it. Z, it just goes on down the line there. There's way more young people across the planet. Okay, so I know we all fall in different slots there, but not nothing to go get all segregated on. If you're living in Seattle, you're paying up to 53% more than the national average for gas. Whew. Feeling it. The national average is 306. In Washington State, the average jumped to 438. Wow. King County, 473. Wow. Definitely paying higher prices up there. America's power bill crisis. It's just getting worse and worse. I've asked you guys, and you guys have dropped your what you guys pay and all that, and it's not getting any better. And some of these Democratic areas are really, really feeling it because of what they decided to do. Going all green, it's crippled them. This has caused them to lean on their neighboring states and cities for help. That's not a situation you want to be in, ever. But that's what they put themselves in. Like, for years, we never had this problem. Why? We had plenty of power. You had your nuclear, you had your coal, which was huge. But they took that away. They took the coal away, basically to try to make us poor. But guess what? Guess what? I'm gonna give the Gentile Messiah, old Trumpy, his props here. This administration announces $100 million to refurbish U.S. coal plants. It's huge. It's huge for any coal state that has been in shambles. to get your plants refurbished and back up and operational. And if old coal towns can spring back to life, this is going to be huge because there's gold in the mills or coal in the mills, and it's worth money, a lot of it. And Chinese be buying it up, snapping it up left and right. Nobody's ever the whole time. Nobody's been over there bitching at them about, and they're on the climate agenda crap and all this other stuff. It's still burning it left and right over there. Not nobody's saying a word to them. It's ridiculous. We should be able to sell it. If you got property, it's got coal. I told you before in the past. I told you buy gold, buy silver, precious metals. For the past decade, I've been telling you this. And invest in land. Something has assets, has blue water line on it, has coal or natural gas or timber. There's your assets. Snatch it up, sit on it, in due time, it's all ready. If you just bought 5 years ago, the value of any land you would have bought would have doubled, if not tripled. Now, if you would have had pockets of coal that can be pulled out of there, potential little gold mine, potential life-changing investment. People sleep on things, man. Running out of time, man. People dying every day. Ain't promise tomorrow, man. If you want to try to get something, get out there and get it. Again, if you can come across some property that's got a lot of natural resources, yeah, I'll do it. BlackRock's doing it left and right. Bill Gates and company. Zelensky's freaking doing it. Number 10. Can you believe that? Number 10 landowner? Like, insane. And I've got people that I know that they go out and they search the mountains for all types of stuff, for coal, for natural gas, water, all that stuff. Mineral rights is key, John. It's true. If you're going to get property, make sure you have the mineral rights loaded into it, because if they got to tell you. So if it's in the description that it doesn't have mineral rights or whatever, blah, 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 like I'm skipping it. I spent a long time, you don't even know how many mountains I had to climb right after they put us in lockdowns, looking for a place. Right? And like so many different places out there got different stipulations. And of course, everybody's different. Yeah, and Zelensky did buy the land with U.S. taxpayers. It's a sham. The fact that guy, it's insane. Meanwhile, the country's falling apart. The largest trucking capacity purge in history is about to happen. You heard that right. And some of you guys out there, you guys are drivers. Meat puppet. You guys are drivers, man. You guys are always telling me what's up. And here recently, some job openings have opened up because there's been a purge of the drivers. A bunch of drivers been here illegally, literally had no names on their license, killing people left and right. So they're purging them, like they're going through and they're yanking these people left and right, big time. It's opening up some spots in the short term, because in the long term, we know where this is going. It's going to be automated vehicles. They're already out there, semis that run in the slow lane that are ran by AI. I foresee in the future the whole right lane in many places is going to be automated. It's going to be AI. It's going to be the AI lane. I do feel it's going to be like all automated, like a speed. It's all robotic. It's all going at like 45. Something crazy. It's just trimming along, but there's no people in it. It's just all vehicles just hauling product. Or maybe, a car hauling people, like a taxi or a cab or something like that. But this is going down the tubes. The world we grew up in is gone. 70s, 80s, 90s. Best time to have ever been alive. All gone, far in the rear view. And you just got to make the best of everything we got right now. Got to try to save what we got. Or not. Like everything's changing. they say something, it's going to happen at this point because no one protests anything. No one's out there to stop anything. Um, Everybody fell for the illusion during election time that people are waking up, and Trump's approval numbers, disapproval numbers, just keep rising. It was in the 50s, now it's in the 60s, and people are pissed. Look at this. Look what else they're doing. How can you not be pissed with everything falling apart, having to pay out the nose for absolutely everything? Everything at the store is through the roof. Of course, people not making no more money. Well, check this out. If you're retired, you already know. You don't even have to worry about this. Like, you're already in the game. Like, you're retired. But this is a game. Literally. The government is playing a game with Social Security. And if you don't know how this works, forever people wanted to reach the age of 65. But the FRA gradually increases everything by 2 months for people that were born after 1959. That means that it will hit 66 years and 10 months starting this year in 2025. What this means is it keeps growing. And it says here, the 1983 Social Security Amendment gradually pushed the FRA from 65 to 67, with a schedule to raise it in 2-month increments. Those born in 1959 will see their FRA at 66 years and 10 months, starting in 2025. For individuals born in 1960 or later, the full retirement age will be 67. This change means that those that were expecting to retire at 66 will now have to wait an additional 2 months. So it's like a carrot on a stick. It's time. If you were born later, this is going to stretch out, man. I don't even expect to ever see anything on Social Security. I've paid into it so much, but like, I don't expect to ever see it. I have to come up with another plan. It's just a scam because I know it won't be there by the time I need it. 27 years from now, yeah, right. I don't even know this country exists. Let's jump to the stocks. Some saying Palantir is the most expensive stock they've ever seen. It's pretty crazy. We've seen some wild stocks, and we're going to go through some numbers here, but Palantir is as evil as it gets. Just in business to track us and our data. That's all it's about. Pushed by Peter Thiel. You know, the guy's been talking all this Antichrist stuff here recently. So check this out. Remember when I told you that Warren Buffett, who's 95, sold a ton of stuff and he was sitting on like this record amount of cash? He went back and he bought a few small things, but nothing major. And he still bailed out on all the big banks. Now, he don't have to report. If there's certain thresholds that you sell under, you don't have to report what you sold for like a certain amount of time. All of a sudden, his cash pile has swelled to a new record of $382 billion. This dude's coming up on $500 billion cash money. So, not just me, but a ton of people in the game are like, hold on. They're scratching their head and like, hold on. One of the world's richest men, one of the best guys in the game, all of a sudden is continually staying on the sidelines in nothing but cash out of the market. If that's not a red flag screaming at you, I don't know what is. And if you're going to get, he's never going to tell you, they're never going to tell you, well, we're about to crash the market. No, they're going to make moves like this. They're going to exit their positions ahead of time, and they're going to be sitting just like this. and a mountain of cash ready to buy everything when it crashes down for peanuts. And explode this almost $500 million into trillions. Hundreds of trillions. That's how they robbed the world, man. Goes right back to the Great Depression. J.P. Morgan Chase and everybody planned it, plotted it. They're doing it again. I'm telling you. Everyone's like a deer in the headlights, man. Everyone's just acting like it's never going to happen. But it's going to happen one day here, very soon. It's going to happen on Trump's watch. That's for sure. So there's a window there. Just saying. Warren Buffett sitting on just insane money. Insane money. Makes me think of this cartoon when I was little. I think it was called DuckTales. Donald Duck's kids, and it showed their grandpa was rich. I forget his name. Was it Scrooge? The Scrooge Duck or whatever. He had all that money and he just diving and swimming in it. Swimming it. That's what he's doing with all this. Swimming it. Here's something to watch. Cardboard box sales or something they watch, believe it or not, especially around the holiday season. And if it's not in a certain zone, they're starting to panic. Like right now. They're saying that alarm bells going off ahead of the holiday shopping season because people are not spending. Well, people can't spend what they don't have, right? And there's another indicator I want to throw out there before we're sitting. Starbucks can't get consumers to stay. Despite all these costly makeovers, they can't get people to stay. Dropping prices on stuff. Maybe people remember the propaganda that they were pushing. Or maybe it's a combination of a bunch of things here. And it's the fact that, things are tight for a lot of people. And it's just where it's at right now. A lot of people not messing with Starbucks, maybe going different routes. And let's dive into, where are we at here? Coming up top there, let's dive into the whole food stamp thing. SNAP, EBT, Scrooge McDuck. There it was. There you go. Thank you. I looked down and why is people saying Fortnite? The Trump admin will partially fund November food stamps. So this is a big thing. We had people literally out there telling other people to go out to Walmart, meet them there, 6:30 tonight. And everybody just be prepared. They're walking out the door, heading out the door with all their stuff from all these places. It's basically the message they're putting out. Let me show you. I don't know if this happened in your town, your neck of the woods, but if it did, let me know. I'm trying to figure out if it went down. Listen to this guy here and what he's saying on this. Of course, it's past time. He called for 6:30 tonight. But from here on out, we don't know. Dude, why do I keep looking down seeing somebody saying Fortnite constantly? If you want to get spammy, the hammer comes out. Unless I missed something. Here we go.
Hey, y'all quit panicking, man. We black, we white, we Chinese, we done been through this shit before. You know what I'm saying? We done been broke. Hey, it ain't nothing to it. November 3rd, stamps will be getting cut off. I need everybody to meet me at Walmart, 6:30. 7 o'clock, 7:30, we walking out that thing. Fill your buggy up, man. Run. Just get ready to run. You know what I'm saying? Have your car parked a block away. As long as you can run a block, we can get away. So look, quit panicking. It's going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. Put your running shoes on. November 3rd, 6:30. Hey man, meet me at Walmart, Myers, whichever one close to y'all. So we gonna get it going, man. They wanna see it. We gonna stick together. We gotta show them, hey, we gonna stick together and we gonna run together. So hey man, get it together. This ain't nothing we ain't never been through. Hey, y'all quit panicking, man.
So you see the guys making a call right there. Walmart, Myers, whatever store. That's what I'm saying. If you guys got any local reports, please email me. Let me know, dabu7@yahoo.com. Make sure to check out my X. I got stuff over there loaded up. Just going to keep pushing here through the stories here. So with Trump partially funding this, what this means is they're saying that like everybody's going to get half of what they normally get. So if somebody gets like, $500 a month or something, they're going to get $250 basically, instead of nothing and all this. So, I don't know. Still, people are not going to be happy about this. Period. I still see people going out, and if they can't get what they're used to getting, this is like half the money gone. If they're say with the money they get, one person gets to the month on it, but like now they're only going to get through 2 weeks. What are they going to do if you go 2 weeks? Sometimes you got to stop and look at the situation. Now, I'm not talking about all these lazy people that are mooching off the system and sucking off of it and all this. I'm talking about people that actually need it, because there are people out there that actually need it. And especially in this climate where they're knocking people out of jobs, what else do you think is going to happen here? This is like a setup. People have no jobs, can't find no new jobs, and everything is going through the roof. It's crazy. It leads everybody back to depending on the government, and it's like a setup to me. It's all a huge setup. And Steve, you sent 10 memberships. Everyone that just got them, welcome to the underground. I appreciate that. Big love here, top of the hour. And right here, we've got 700,000 ineligible SNAP recipients purged after the USDA uncovers widespread food stamp fraud. So, yeah, you're going to have that going down too. At least they're clearing that out. So, I guess my last note on that is like, yeah, in the coming days and weeks, I mean, as long as SNAP's not fully reinstated, you're going to see some issues probably to some degree somewhere for sure. So AI is taking its toll on jobs pretty massively. I try to update on like every single show on what's going on. This has a good rundown right here. It says that a significant portion of jobs cannot be replicated by machines. AI will likely usurp the people, though, the brain power, and the robotics will replace the manual labor. So together, the AI and the robot, obviously, they're the replacement. So Amazon has announced that on October 28th, it began eliminating 14,000 corporate positions. UPS revealed it cut 34,000. That's way larger than the 20,000 they announced in April. Nestle reduced 16,000. Salesforce, 4,000. And it's a ton of companies all connected to AI. Everyone's getting replaced. Remember, about a month or so ago, I reported on a guy that said that the company that he runs Last year took 300 and some people to run, like 350 some people to run, say 353. And think about that. 350 people is a lot of people. You ever walk into a factory with 350 people in it, everyone buzzing around doing their thing? You know, imagine 350 of those people losing their job and only 3 people remaining. That is a head buster. That is the most like depressing. Even if you were like one of the 3 people left working there, all the people that would be gone, it would be like they're all dead and gone or something. It'd be like, it'd be so lonely. It'd be a totally different environment. Just surrounded then by nothing but AI. Probably reading your mind. I don't know, man. Like our world is changing so fast. The world we lived in, man. All the jobs that we worked and the play, everything is changing fast. By 2030, the next 5 years is going to be such a transformation. Things to definitely think about when thinking about jobs, kids, future, college, which is a trap. In this right here, this is where all the roads are leading back to. Universal basic income. This is where everyone's just given by the government, so much every month to survive off of. Period. Like a set amount. And Elon's already pitched it out there that this is the answer for all the people that have lost their jobs that the government would just pay. That's garbage. That is not what you want. It's the last thing you ever wanted. That's the trap. That's what China's got everybody on. You get out of line, literally. If you're in China and you leave your bike sitting on a walking path, they're gonna ding you. Points. If you get caught jaywalking on a camera, facial recognition picks you up. You're gonna get dinged on points. Then say your grandma dies, and she's on the other side of China, and you need to travel, and you need to go there to the funeral. But guess what? You left your bike in the path this week, and you did some bad things. They deducted points off of your social score, and you don't have enough or a high enough score to travel. That's right. And imagine you worked your ass off all week and you get paid, but there's a timer on your paycheck. And if you don't spend your money by the time that timer's down, it's gone. Imagine that. Yeah, you people got no clue where this is going. Like, this is why you don't want to be on blockchain ran by a government. They're not righteous. Blockchain could work if you had righteous people here. A lot of things could work better if you had righteous people. But when you got tyrannical people that just want to slave you and track you, blockchain is a perfect weapon to track your every move and to do what I just said. They could put a carbon tax on you and all this other crap, which is the ultimate goal, and then get you on a digital ID and all this. And eventually the mark. Through and through. But it all leads back to this. You take all the jobs, what else is there left? There's nothing. If you wipe out all the jobs and you just don't say nothing, we're just not going to say nothing to nobody, guys. Just everybody shut up. We're just going to roll this out. And like the ones that are smart will get it. The others will just get cold. Yeah. That's how the elite are looking at it. That's where we're at. Like, we're being replaced. It's pretty scary. Keep thinking of them Deagle numbers, huh? They're gonna get them one way or another, huh? Scariest part is all they gotta do is release a real pandemic, and it's over. And that's what they plan to do. Like, life's over when this happens, man, for me. You know? I could make it through all this craziness. When they throw this real one, they'll clamp down. They will not miss the opportunity to clamp down. They will not miss the opportunity to use all the strike teams and all the camps and everything they're setting up the police state right now to round every pureblood up. Anyone that does not take the mark, this will be the opportunity of a lifetime, of many lifetimes. They have waited for centuries to seize this moment, to get to do this, to be able to enslave man globally, to control the whole globe, every last everything on it, locked down cold. And you can either buy or sell unless you have the mark. You all know it, right? That's what was scary, how they came out in the UK here recently. Starmer was like, look, you ain't going to be able to work without it. And that is kind of the short way of saying you can't buy or sell, because if you can't work, you can make no money. You cannot survive. Same concept. You take the jobs away, you cannot work, you cannot survive. Only way you're surviving is a handout from the government. And when everything's missing, imagine you're out in the water and you're drowning, and someone comes along, government comes along, like, we're going to throw you a lifeline. It's better than nothing. Are you going to take the lifeline or not? Most people are going to take the lifeline. That's why we're screwed. And right there, the whole herd gets ushered into the new system. And if not, you're an outcast. You're on the run. You get hunted. Which is what's going to happen to the real purebloods. Because this was just a beta test. You're not a real pureblood until you pass the real test, the real one, or a real pandemic, where bodies are stacked up, where you know people that's died, and you know it's real. Right? And you still refuse to jab. That's it. That's the real one. That patented 666 Luciferus Bill Gates one is still sitting over there on the shelf waiting to be used. Yep, that's coming. Yeah, what'd you think him and Trump were talking about down there having dinner? Oh, wait, they told us what they were talking about. mRNA and how to make money off it. Huh, there's only one way to do that. And you know it. See, these dudes done been caught Mar-a-Lago, and they had the audacity to tell us, instead of Trump arresting Gates, he had dinner with him at Mar-a-Lago, and they talked about the future of mRNA and how to make business deals on it. Ha! Oh, really? Start a pandemic, a real one, and you're going to bank off the mRNA. They know this. This is the same guy that figured out, I'm going to make a virus, whatever, for the computers and try to sell the antidote to everybody. And he flipped this whole thing up to real life on people instead of computers. And like, man, it's as wicked as it gets. Bill Gates, you already know, funding a lot of this chaos out there too. But again, Trump's never going to arrest none of these people. Hillary, none of them. He's going to walk. All right, so I'm going to keep it pushing. Portland ice building plunged into darkness. Oh, well. It's probably the feds themselves. I don't know. So their building went out up there. They're still telling. At this point, these are just war zones. These are all becoming like no-go zones. Okay? In a way, some of them are, for sure. Some areas may be getting cleaned up. It's definitely what people want to see. Some of these areas are bad. But at the same time, the answer's not like these strike teams, man. This isn't it. The answer's not the feds. The answer's whipping your local cops into shape to do the damn job. Okay, what's the difference? Yeah, they get APCs. They got all these weapons. Well, a lot of these places are going to say funding. So that's been the trap. You've let them cut you off, choke you off on funding, knowing that they're doing this so they can turn around and they can say, oh, you're not doing the job good enough. We're going to send in our guys. In comes ICE. Then, oh, that's not enough. We're going to snatch up your boys and girls, too, from each state. And we're going to send the National Guard in with them. This is crazy. We've never seen nothing like this. They keep saying all these shows. They're like, oh, Joe Biden let him in for 4 years. Joe Biden let him in. I'm like, shut up. Joe Biden didn't let him in. It wasn't just Joe Biden. It was this government, the same deep state government that is still sitting there. You tard. Lost in the left-right paradigm. It's one conglomerate that did all this. Trying to blame Joe Biden for doing this means stuck in it. It's stuck in the left-right paradigm. You can't see that one bigger government had a bigger plan to orchestrate all this, to flood the people in. That way they had an excuse to put strike teams on the ground all across the country to begin with, because they never had an excuse to do that. It would have never been accepted. We warned about it for forever. We warned you about Jade Helm. We warned you about all this. What have they done? They've done all of it. Like gray state is unfolding in front of your face. All because they could say, oh, Joe Biden let him in for 4 years. No, this government, all in all, let him in. It was all part of a plan because they couldn't get to where they are now with troops on the ground in every city without it. Do you see? So it was done for a reason, because without it, they couldn't have got here. Now they can get here without any bitching, without any questions. Oh, there's rapists and killers and murderers in every city. How can anybody say anything against that? They can't. You can't. You can't. This is such a methodical, well-planned, thought out, in advance plan that's being rolled out that most people just can't consume it. And most people just be honest out there, they're just too small-minded to see the bigger picture. They don't want to. A bunch of them just don't want to. Okay, so Maryland was one of the places that was dealing with the whole ICE thing. Well, they struck a deal with ICE. In the next one, I'm going to show you, you can go one of two ways in this situation. You can strike a deal with ICE or not. The way I see it is, if you've got a murderer and a rapist and all that sitting in a jail cell, don't drag this out. Cough them up. Cough them up and get them out of there. ICE can then leave. Hey, did you ever think about that? Just give them what they want real quick and they're out of here. Give them the baddies so they can get them out of the country, because that has to happen regardless. But no, you're holding these people hostage, and then all of a sudden it's all hell and chaos all over the freaking city in the meantime. Sounds like a setup to me. But Illinois, they're not striking a deal. They bar ICE from arresting anybody inside of a courthouse. So if they get word that someone just had a court date, they can't get, they have to sit outside. But if they call that parking lot a safe zone, they're not allowed to operate there neither. So they're dubbing some of these places now within Illinois safe zones. Illinois joining California and Connecticut in barring federal immigration agents from conducting civil arrest of illegal aliens in or around state courthouses. So it's spreading more and more. Okay. We've got talk. It just keeps going on with Civil War 2.0. You can see it right here. We'll see what's going to go down with these elections. We've got some elections going down. Your state may not have them right now, but they're going down. Civil War seems to be the theme. And a lot of this is coming back to New York City in this Mondani, this guy that you see here. They're installing him. This is like a setup. This doesn't seem to be natural. It seems to be artificial. And look at this. Look what this says. A new poll reveals a shocking majority of college students prefer socialism over capitalism. And I'm going to tell you now, it's because they're young, they're dumb, they're green. They're getting filled with propaganda in these colleges, and you know it. And they're also seeing the society right now that they're in as failing. And they're blaming Trump for it. And this guy is saying that we've got the answers to all this, and they're believing it. Which is what sucks a lot of people into the whole socialist thing before they get chewed up and spit out. Why don't you go see what socialist life is like down Cuba? Huh? Huh? So some of these people have no idea. So a staggering 67% of college students have a positive or neutral view of socialism, compared to just 40% for capitalism. I didn't know that 67 plus 40 equaled 100, but anyhow, that's this poll. We're finding out that European billionaires have also funneled billions via NGOs to back guys just like this Mom Donnie. That is like, they don't stand for our way. They don't stand for our way of life. And yes, universities are indoctrination centers and debt traps by and large. So we've now got proof and evidence, foreign charities, and this is known, given money to this Mondani. And here we are. This is it. This is the big moment. The next 24 hours or whatever, these votes to go down. Several major cities got big votes going down. I'm going to name the biggest ones right here. You've got Atlanta, which is a big city, one of the biggest in the South. You've got Cincinnati. And all my life growing up, it seemed like they always vote. It says it right there. They predominantly have always voted for a Democratic mayor, which is garbage. You need to try something different. Maybe you'll get some different results. I don't know. But my whole life, it seems like it was that way. Minneapolis. That's a key one. And then New York City. And New York City is really the biggest one here. You've got 3 guys running. You've got this Mamdani. You've got this Sliwa, Curtis Sliwa. He's the Republican. And then you've got Andrew Cuomo, who's running independent at this point. And tonight, I seen Trump, I seen Elon, I seen all these people jumping behind Cuomo, giving him endorsement. Even the Democratic, a lot of the Democratic people are backing him, are saying, look, we want him over this Mamdani, because they see how bad it's going to be with this dude. They're basically saying he's going to turn New York City into Commie Central. Right? So some are saying, let him do it, because the people are going to suffer. If you want to sit back and let it become this, then you people are going to suffer. And you'll see just how bad it is. There's only going to be one way for you to figure this out. The hard way. NYC is screwed at this point. I feel like they're about to give it to this guy. It's like obvious, and like it's screwed. So here, Obama privately endorses this Mamdani in a phone call. Yet I seen in the X feed here earlier, they said that he didn't publicly, that he's not endorsing him. So like, which one is it? He's publicly not endorsing him, but he gives him a phone call in private, but is? Ridiculous. That's common core math. And the Kev Bar, thank you for the super chat, brother. To the fullest. That's crazy. Obama sliding out from underneath of a rock here and causing issues. Look at this. Obama is preparing to step up efforts to resist Trump. He says he's not so sure the country will survive his presidency. So guess what? He's over here in the shadows. They're letting it be known, doing everything he can to stir up. It has to be chaos. I mean, supporting Mom Donnie, I mean, that's not helping this country. So here's a clip I'm going to play of Barack Obama. This guy is just, you see, he's back out giving speeches. Why? He hollers at this girl in the audience, which is completely wrong, but then gives Michelle a shout out. And it's kind of cringe, but
I love you, but hold on. I heard you, girl. Just settle down. I'm here to talk to everybody, not just you.
I hate when they talk with the fake accents.
I mean, you look cute, but I am married. Michelle's fine, too.
Just ridiculous, man. Anybody showing up to listen to that guy speak is just got an issue. All right, so Mom Donnie, I'm going to call him Mom Kami. The Mom Kami tsunami, what they're calling it. NYC is about to become the biggest no-go zone in U.S. history. This was even hard for me to even spit out. I didn't even want to say it. This is crazy. All right, so what is this? This is Wayne Allen Root's take, okay? And this just shows you where they're taking this. This is what it's saying here on the screen. I just want to read off. And I don't trust Wayne Allen Root at all. He's connected at the hip, nut-hugging Trump, just one of them, like, disgusting, all-in MAGA, not calling him out for the pedo protection, like, none of it. Anyhow, he says it's already been happening for 5 years. Drip, drip, drip. Many of the richest citizens have been leaving NYC. I can tell you who's still there, George Soros, and he's not being arrested, right? And they've taken hundreds of billions of dollars of income with them out of NYC as these people leave. But what happens when everyone still left in NYC with income and assets decides to escape all at once? He says you're about to witness a modern-day repeat of the Jewish exodus from Egypt. Get ready. It's about to happen. It will likely be like nothing you've ever seen. And he has asterisks next to all these. He says every Republican with money is about to leave. Number 2, every white person with money is about to leave. Number 3, every Jew is about to leave. Number 4, every Catholic is about to leave. Number 5, every business owner is about to leave. Number 6, the whole Wall Street is about to leave. And number 7, every cop is about to leave. And who does that represent? Most of the lawyers, doctors, accountants, stockbrokers, architects, real estate brokers, mortgage brokers, insurance brokers, and of course, business owners, big and small. Who will police the streets? A Muslim army. Everyone with income and assets who does all the work and pays all the taxes and creates all the jobs and buys all the goods is about to run for their lives. They're saying that this extreme exodus has never happened to any city in American history, and it's about to happen to the biggest. I'm telling you, this is set up. This is set up by design. Again, people sleeping on this. This place is getting torn apart, and they're doing this on purpose. If these big dogs, Trump and all these billionaires, didn't want this to happen in New York City, do you think it would happen? Hell no, it wouldn't. This is a ploy by the establishment, by the hand, just like Blind 11 or anything else. And look what they're doing. They're using the city. Man, they're priming the city to get wiped out by a tsunami. Like, they're flashing all the signs, escape NYC. Like, you better get out. They're saying it's set to become the Kabul on the Hudson. Kabul being no-go zone in Afghanistan. They're saying this is about to spark the most extreme exodus that has ever happened in American history. And it's about to happen. You're going to see it commence in the next 48 hours. That's crazy. Dude, this is nuts, man. We'll see. We'll see what's about to happen. I think he's going to get it. This is going to be bad news. It's crazy. It's a lot of the people that I've ever known. I know some cats that are still up in New York State. But anyone that I've ever known that was ever even up in NYC had left it. For the most part. Most people left it and fled to like Texas, Florida, other places. Here's one. The BBC caught editing Trump's January 6th speech to make it sound like he encouraged the rioting. Now imagine you're someone over in the UK trying to get the scoop on this, and the BBC is playing this news clip, and you hear it, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, Trump's garbage." You know, Trump did incite it. Well, they lied, and they're busted. I'm playing this because this goes to show that even the BBC at that level will edit something to lie. Like, it's subtle, but it's obvious here. I'm gonna play it. It's a quick clip here.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you.
Now, hold on, I'm gonna back it up. I want you to notice all the spots that it cuts away from him and shows the crowd and all this. That's the edited clips. They tried to get real slick with this. So watch that.
We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell. We're gonna walk down to the Capitol, and we're gonna cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
And that was it. It wasn't like fight like hell. No. They added all that. That's garbage. It's treasonous, man. They're in on it. All those people should be not fired. They should be arrested. I salute anyone out there that rises and takes everything back from corruption. That's right. You got corruption. You got somebody committing a crime somewhere. That's crime, right? They need to be taken out, right? Sick of it. Ain't no one righteous at the top of anywhere. Any of these alphabet gangs, anything, anywhere. It's all evil. Blackmailed by pedos, man. There ain't a hope. Everybody fell for this whole thing with MAGA into this trap. And now that they're starting to wake up out of it, it's like too late. Like, he's here, he's in. The fangs are sinking. The strike teams are sprawled out. The police state's getting. Oh man, this is scary because they got everything in place to just lock this place down cold. Do you remember when they locked us down? There were checkpoints at states. You couldn't even get into Florida from Georgia because there was a frickin' checkpoint. People's memories are like this big. If they forget, it's back to, oh, life is normal, was. And yeah, it's great. Everything is kind of back to where it was freedom-wise instead of being locked down. But don't forget, You couldn't even get on the highway and drive because you had to have essential papers. Do you imagine what's going to happen this next one? Immediately. You just got a taste of it. And there won't be no trying to go to the store and fight people for stuff. It'll be different because you won't want to come in contact with people. That's just how idiotic this last one was. Everybody ran out with people that should have been infected all over the place. It was in the store with them all over the place. Everybody's fighting to get, like it's Black Friday, to get goods, but not in a real one. You won't. You'll be deader than crap, and a lot of people will be in a real one. You just wait. You don't think they don't have a real one planned when they just did a beta test for years and they ran it? The whole world, everyone was in on it. Russia, China, everybody was in on it. Locking down their people. Oh, yes, they were. It shows you there's a world government right there that's already rolling things out. All the rest is a game. That's why they call these theaters of war. They're literally theaters. They're playing them out. It's why they say war is a racket. Russia's selling equipment on one side, the U.S. on the other side. It wouldn't work any other way. Okay? So that's the truth of it all, right there. That's the truth of it all. And the rest of it is a scam and a lie and garbage. And these governments are totalitarian. They're mafias. That's what they are. Trump's the Don of the United States. Putin is the Don of Russia over there. That mafia, pretty much. And they're in cahoots. Again, the governments are all in bed together. If there's a world leader out there that's not down with the NWO, they go and they smash them. And you've seen it from Saddam to Gaddafi. And if Gaddafi could not stop them, then who can wage war with the beast? Who's got armies? Who's got billions? Who's got a war chest? Soldiers, gold, all this other stuff. He did. Not nobody you know. And not nobody left on this freaking rock called Earth. All the billionaires left are in a big club. They're all satanic. They're all worshiping the fallen. And that is how this place works. Okay? The fallen is what most are missing. Because of whatever. They're too scared to know the truth. Well, big war is about to break loose here, and it's going to serve as a huge distraction. And Mr. Prince of Peace, Trump, he may have 6, 7, 8, 9 places he's trying to claim, but he has war on the table, and it's going to happen here. But they may not drag out. They may not be like Gulf War, the Gulf War, like Afghanistan, long drug out things. They may be a series of just like you're seeing with the boats out in the water. Just a series of hits here and there, like boom, boom, boom. Trying for decapitation strikes, maybe. To take out Maduro, take out the leadership. This is about to be huge, man. I'm gonna skip over a couple of these here because I want to key in on this whole thing with Venezuela, China, and Putin, and Trump, and all that here, because this is the new war front. This is the big dog. This is the big deal right here. You ask me. This is what's going to really change things, because it's going to light up from Venezuela all the way to our doorstep, into our country. So Trump says Xi and Putin are serious people and that they're not to be toyed with. October marked a high point for Russian missiles hitting Ukraine, pounding them out. In Ukraine, responding. On the last stream, I told you how Putin was kind of showing off. They had soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, surrounded, and they brought in journalists, and they were like, "Look, we've got them surrounded, and we want you to see how we treat them. We're not killing them." And thank you, BT. It's kind of a crazy moment. Well, Ukraine's now sending special forces in, I guess, to retrieve those people. We'll see how that goes. If they get everybody killed, or if they get them in, they get out of there. They're not going to get them in by killing Russian troops. They're going to have to go in there talking. It's the only way they're going to get them. That's fitting to be interesting. The whole setup here. Ukrainian drones damage and set fire to one of Russia's biggest oil terminals. This is in the Black Sea. Crimea. They're striking everywhere. If you can't tell, drones are the weapon of choice. I get ready. If you're going to be a pure blood and you're going to survive out there, outside of this beast system, it's going to be drones that are trying to hunt you down. In the future, it's already happening. It's going to be drones trying to hunt you down. You're going to have to go inside the mountain, underground. The underground, baby. That's what it's all about in the end. Now, maybe when you look back at past civilizations, you wonder why they all went underground. I just told you, I got a good one for you. You didn't think past high civilizations didn't have things like this monitoring the skies? And yeah, I'd say same type of crap. I'd say they had better weapons. And from what I've seen, yeah, we're so lied to. Anyhow, Ukraine is also accusing Cuba, and remember, the West is backing Ukraine, so this is like the United States accusing Cuba of sending thousands to fight on the front lines, basically for Russia, with the Russian army. And we know. That's why I told you it's a world war. The definition of world war is met in Ukraine. When you've got mass fatalities and you've got soldiers from many different nations battling on a front line. You've got Chinese, North Korean, Cuban. You got a mix of all kinds of different soldiers just getting murdered in the Ukraine trenches. And a lot of it, you want to know how a lot of them die? Every single day. Every single day. I don't share it. A lot. I did today. I shared one, I think. It's drones. Drones are coming down, filming live. These Russian soldiers can see them, are like watching them. And in some instances, can talk to them through the drone. And what pisses me off is the Ukrainians, they killed civilians. Civilians clearly carrying a white flag, trying to survive. They blow one away, carrying a white flag. Another one comes up. A guy walks up, does a cross thing, like RIP, continues walking down the road. Well, just a couple minutes later, he's blown away and killed too. So, this civilians just walking down the road, it pisses me off. I see so many people die from drones in that conflict that it's insane. It's nauseating. And this title is like laughable. Tulsi Gabbard says Trump has ended America's era of regime change. Like, get out of here. Like, just get out of here. I don't. You're about to get rid of Maduro, and we know it. And I'm gonna tie into that here. Pretty hardcore. This is a woman that is trying very hard to get onto a base that a bunch of other top administration officials have just moved onto, which red flags flying all over the place that this is happening. They all fear assassination or repercussions from civil unrest. What? Why? What's civil unrest? What do they know is coming? This is real deal. You've got now Steve Miller just made the move onto the base. Chrissy Noem on the base. Pete Hegseth. Marco Rubio. Tulsi trying to get in there. And a bunch of people that they will not name. They refuse to name because of national security reasons. So it's no telling who's getting slid in here. I'm telling you, dozens and dozens of high-ranking people. High-ranking officials and people. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Why now? Why now? Like, dude, you can feel it in the air. Like something huge. The U.S. expands their spy balloons over the Caribbean. These are the big aerostats. They used to be on our border till Obama took them down years ago. If anyone's been around since I reported on that, he took them down, and then they started the whole invasion. That's back when Biden was vice president. And Biden went down to South America and told everybody, to a whole crowd, you could basically get into America for free. And they started coming up on by the train loads. Remember? They were right on top of the train, everything else. Like, that's how long, how far back this goes. They set this whole thing up. They dismantled the border, our border, took down our aerostats, and left it like defenseless. For the whole thing. It's a setup. Anyhow, those spy balloons, those blimps, big white blimps, they can spy a vast distance. And when they've got these over the Caribbean, dude, they're about to strike. They're about to strike hard. This is going to become like, yeah, time is short. Time is very short. Look, a desperate Maduro offered the Trump administration everything that you could think of. Everything that you could think of. He reportedly made 54 political arrests after he got denied, just within the last month. And most of them is in the opposition party. Well, if you missed it, the leader of the opposition party that will most likely take power and control if Maduro is killed or overthrown is who? The woman that just won the Nobel Peace Prize. They made sure that this one was going to stick. They did. And she's going to be the one you watch. Maria Corina Machado. She will be the new leader as soon as they kill this dude and they topple it. And she supports everything Trump 100%. And it's about to happen. This dude cannot be sleeping very well at night, Maduro. He is urgently seeking military aid from Russia and China right now. Okay? And Russia is closely monitoring the situation. The U.S. now has over 16,000 troops sitting off the coast. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. That's not counting all the special teams that are all over the place. And the CIA that slipped in and doing covert stuff. All that's not counting all them. So there's literally tens of thousands of people involved here in this whole thing. And that's just 16 down there around in the Caribbean. We've got troops all down along our border now. We've got all the way down around Mexico, Baja, in the water. We've got ships and destroyers running Poseidons. We have been for months. This is about to go down. We've been closely monitoring Central America since day one, covertly. This is why Trump declared a national emergency on day one. And people were scratching their head, then they forgot about it because nothing was happening with it. And still, nothing really has happened until they started striking these boats here recently. And it's kind of like to get everybody's attention. It's like, yo, get ready. I'm warning you. Because now they're done telling the media anything. Trump has barked at the media on 2 different occasions now and said, I'm not telling you our secrets from here on out. And it's complete opposite of what they were just openly doing. They didn't care any time before. So now all of a sudden he's like, I'm not telling you anything that we're doing. It's like, okay, now you guys are about to strike. Now you guys, satellite imagery. This is how you know it's about to go down. It shows 2 U.S. Iwo Jima, the USS Iwo Jima and USS Gravely at striking distance of Venezuela, and a poll reveals a majority in Latin America support military intervention against Maduro. So, do you support a U.S. military intervention in Venezuela to depose of Maduro and his government? And 53% per this poll say yes, throughout all of the Americas down there. Another, in your opinion, is Venezuela a democracy or a dictatorship? And 73% said it's a dictatorship by and large. And it says, the last one is Venezuela better off with or without Maduro as president? And 73% say without. So he is smoked. Yeah, they do. They do run it. Of course, just go back to Bush 1. Poppy Bush. They were running drugs, cocaine, all this stuff from Burma. It was known. The whole Chinese connection was there still. It's all still there. They're just trying to act like they're not a part of it, like they always have. We got a money for war, we can't feed the poor. Yeah, well, look at this one. Drug smuggling surges along the Amazon waterways. And it's driving tensions between who? Brazil. And I told you it's going to keep doubling back. Why do you think Brazil and Rio Grande and it just cracked down, killed over 100 people the other day in Rio de Janeiro, in the favelas, in the ghetto, going through, because they're trying to show that they're making a stand against narco terror. They're trying to show the whole world, because Trump's showing the whole world that if you have narco terror, we're coming for your ass. That's what he's warned Venezuela and Maduro, and he's going to pay the price for it. They also reached over and said, oh, Colombia, your President Petro, yeah, Colombia, the biggest outputter or supplier and exporter of cocaine on the planet. Yeah, that President Petro, whatever, you can get it too. Both of you can get it. That's what Trump has said. And oh yeah, right next to him is the Panama Canal, which they don't warn you at the beginning of the year they're willing to go in full-blown military to seize it, to take it over from a Chinese control. And then right up the water from that is Baja. Like, they have got military wrapped around this whole thing. And they've spent the whole year doing it right in front of everybody. It's about to go down. So Brazil is like the next one there. You can see their waterways. Like, I'm telling you, they're going to start blowing people out of the water like they already have been. And it's like a warning sign. So this brings me up to Mexico. Mexico, over the weekend, had cartel gunmen assassinate one of the main mayors that was down there trying to tackle violent crime and everything else. Now, of course, if you're down there trying to tackle violent crime, what does that mean? That's going against the cartels. So those cartels didn't like it, and they assassinated the guy at an open thing where people were standing there. It was being filmed. It was like live. I seen the footage, and it was, they just keep doing this. They're rolling up and just killing everyone. So what's Trump and them's response? Look at this. Look at this. They are planning a new mission in Mexico against the cartels. This is tonight, today, this dropped. And when you read it, what do they say? They go on to say, oh, we're not saying much. They repeat what I said earlier. They said that we're not saying nothing about no more of our moves. Which means they're about to drop bombs. They're about to go to war. They're basically saying it repeatedly, like, we're done telling any of you. We're done telling you anything we're going to do. Anything we're going to do. Hint, hint, wink, wink. It's obvious. Like, it's about to go down. And I'm telling you, Brazil's down there whipping it up in high gear because they don't want none. Look at this. Look at this. Mississippi law enforcement. This is how corrupt the police are. This is why I never trust anything out there. 20 officers. 20 officers indicted for working with the cartel. 20 of them. Are you kidding me? All compromised. Are you kidding me? You wonder how cartels take over areas like all of Mexico? Like, right here. See, what happens is these guys, somebody get arrested. And one of these guys will start talking to one of the cops. And he'll get in his ear. And he'll be like, look, man, like, I know that, like, I'm going to jail, but, like, I got a proposition for you. Like, I'm willing to pay you $30,000 to, like, let me slide and get you in on this whole operation. It's really lucrative. These cops, their wheels start spinning. And they're like, oh, crap, $30K, like, right now, like, no strings attached, like, cash money. All I gotta do is just cut you loose and, like, watch your ass. Like, they all took the bait. Compromised. And what they didn't realize is, in the end, by and large, some of the guys that they were cutting these big deals with were feds. Weren't even real cartel. They were feds. So, it shows you how corrupt the system is. Can't trust nothing. And look here, Chrissy Nome is considering hiring private bounty hunters to track down illegals. So, dude, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold up. Hold the front door. You've got Tom Homan, ICE strike teams going across the country. You've got National Guard being called up whenever Trump wants for whatever reason. But then you've got these brand new strike teams, 500 apiece, mandatory from every state that has to be ready to be called up like firefighters on 24 hours notice to go to any chaotic situation for anything civil unrest. Dude, what in the are they expecting? Something's about to go down, dude. Okay? So you've got ICE strike teams, these other teams. You've got normal DHS, FBI agents, CIA agents crawling all over. You got National Guard backing them up, like I said. In Spiro, as you sent me, they're talking about sending armed IRS agents out all over the place, straight up. And on top of it, bounty hunters. When you just hired like 120, 200 some thousand people to go play sheriff to go round immigrants up in all these cities to basically become feds. They're getting everybody to come work for the Fed. Oh my gosh. Private bounty hunters, huh? They're about to roll out like Eric Prince. They're gonna let him flex for real. Like all the stuff that is like illegal, that's against the Constitution we ever warned you about, they're getting away with right here. They're getting away with right here. Police state, man. In the end, nobody seems to care, but I'm going to tell you right now, we're hunted. Any of you Christians out there believe in Jesus, believe in righteousness, period, this way of life that America represents, if you let someone else with different values come in here, different religion, different way of thinking, they could cut your head off and be done with your way of thinking. That's what you need to realize. Sitting on your ass and being docile is only going to get you so far. You have to get up and fight when they're running up in here. Why do you think Elon just turned and looked at the UK and told them, you can't just sit there. You have to get up. You don't have a choice at this point. You have to defend yourself at least, or you're going to get killed. They're going to kill you. It's the same thing here. You defend this place, or you're going to get killed. Everybody sits on that ass. They're going to create, world's largest city, NYC or whatever. They're going to turn it into a no-go zone. All by design, of course, by the powers that be. Same one that brought you lockdown, same one that brought you Blind 11, everything else, all the other staged events. They're bringing this well-manufactured. And it's an attack on us Christians, I'm telling you. You need to know it.
78 countries, 330 million Christians being persecuted around the world. It is the most persecuted religion across the Middle East and Africa and elsewhere. And to your point, relative silence from the international community. It is in the UN Charter as a basic human right. It's one of the things that Nicki Minaj is going to come over, and we're going to have her talk to the UN, talk to our experts, and actually hear from some of these pastors and others that have been so horribly persecuted. And
it takes Nicki Minaj to do this. This is crazy, man. Like, but shout outs to her then. Anyone else that wants to do the righteous thing and shed light on this, because everyone else is turning their cheek, acting like it ain't happening. Christians getting slaughtered everywhere. And you're going to let the same people that's doing it roll up in here? You're going to turn a cheek to that too? Like, you're foolish and you're smoked. You better start getting into communities of like-minded individuals that believe in Jesus, Yeshua, righteousness, not in Sharia law. Or your bloodline's future is done because you sat on that ass and you didn't do nothing. Again, there ain't no Calvary coming to save the day. MAGA's got all the patriots under spell. There's no militias active hardly anywhere. I say it on every stream. If you know of some that are active and holding anything any weekend, let me know. I want to go. I'm down. I'm bowdy, but I never hear a word. Take that to the bank. This place is smoked. As your Bible says, you better prepare for you a place in the wilderness for what's about to go down, and you better sell your cloak for a sword. He returns with the sword. Behold a pale horse. Yeah, it's that time. Much love, Susie. Hope all is good. No. Chill out here for a second. Top of the hour. Rip through the stories real quick. I made sure this one tonight I had to get to them. I didn't want to be like last stream and have a super long stream and they get to 3 hours is too much. I try to keep them at 2 hours or between 2 and 3 hours. So I figured this is a good one here. Get some final thoughts. Check the chat. be out of here before 11:11, and yeah, still sticking with Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule right now. Um, I'll let everybody know well in advance if we got to switch up the schedule. Like I said before, it'll just be moving it to Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Still 3 days a week, still evenly spaced, and then also an exclusive stream will be on the Sabbath on Saturdays on Rumble, and we'll be talking about all the goods over there. And yeah, just checking out the chat here. Much love. Rapture, Martin, EC, Callie, Deanne, Steve, man. Thank you for everything, man. Again, some of you guys just and gals go above and beyond. I appreciate it more than you know. Yes, put on that full armor of God. And check chat and the emails here and make sure everything. If you got anything you want to get to me from here related to anything, email me. Please follow me on X as well. Tag me over there. And thank you. Thank you, Steely. Thank all of you guys for everything. Yes, it is Illuminati, my brother. Peace to all. Much love. Thank you. All right, guys. Going to take us out of here. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for some Underground World News Live. And that will be Wednesday. Much love. God bless. Prophet, been subbed since 2012, 2013. What's up? Much love. Hey, good night, everyone. Rest up. God bless. I see you, Pixie. Earl, I'll see you up here in Boston. Thank you, D. White, my brother. Thank you for everything, all the images, everything that you share and drop. I appreciate it more than you know. Who cares? Much love right back at you. Keep on. Much love. Prisoner by proxy. That's right. Defund the beast. All praise to the Most High in heaven. Turn to Him. Call on Him. Call on the Most High. Walk righteous. Live righteous. Hey, Deanne, Eon, you guys, man, thank you for the coffees. I don't even have words, man. It's appreciated.